So, welcome in everybody to our July Feminine Wisdom Circle. For those of you who don't know me or watching the replay and don't know me, I'm Laura Rubinstein. I'm the creator of the Feminine Power Cards and the Ignite Your Feminine Soul Play Shop and Spalicious Retreats. So, we gather every month to just nourish each other, to practice our feminine energy in community. A lot of, hey, Selene, I'm going to promote you to panelist. So what we do at the beginning of each of these sessions is I have an intention, I pull a card, I have an intention, and one of us, that is not me, usually reads the intention. So is there somebody who would like to read the intention today? I will put it on I'm sorry, if you're holding your hand up, who would like to read?
I will.
Okay, great, Sora, thank you.
Our intention is to create a sacred space for wise women leaders to access our juicy feminine energy, to rejuvenate our souls, connect with like-hearted women, tap into our collective wisdom, honor our worth, and live aligned with our most powerful asset.
Thank you. And you may be wondering what that most powerful asset is, but we're going to get into that today. So I'm so happy to see you and welcome, Selena. But first, what we like to do is get centered and really just shed anything that's here that doesn't need to be here. So feel free to get yourself in a comfortable position. If you choose to, you can close your eyes. You don't have to. It's completely up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with. But taking a slower breath in and then an easy emptying out. And begin to notice how you're supported, how the chair or whatever you're leaning against, the floor, is rising up to cradle you. And see if you can just let go of anything that doesn't need to hold on. Let go, settle in, and taking another conscious breath in and releasing as you feel ready to release. And with your next inhalation, just savor it. And then letting go whatever you need to shed that is not serving you in this moment. It could be physical, mental, emotional. Use your breath. And the breath is so symbolic. You're nurturing yourself with that breath. And you're letting go. And now, as you're focusing on your breath, allow yourself to notice the sensation of being breathed. Not you breathing, but the breath breathing you. You're allowing the air in and allowing it to release. It's like the air is breathing you. You're in sync with the natural rhythms of life, nature, and your highest good. And as you settle into this knowingness that you are in sync, that you are connected, that you are highly supported in every moment, imagine yourself as the priority a little more in your life, just setting yourself one notch higher. If you focused on you just a little bit more, you took any clients or distractions, family or friends or coworkers, and you adjusted them with your own prioritizing of yourself a little bit more, would you be a little better at being their friend, their loved one, their supporter, their service provider. You might. So now, as you imagine that your energy puts yourself a little bit higher on your priority scale, what could you shift that would be a sign that you're putting your precious soul first? Something you're doing, some way you're responding, just a little symbolic gesture for yourself, or it could be a big one, whatever comes to mind. But putting yourself as a priority, how could you physically or mentally or emotionally do that for yourself? Shift into that, kind of like you're shifting a gear. Yeah, and just allow yourself to envision that, to think of that, to feel it. Maybe it's just a feeling that you know that when you put yourself as a priority, it's good for you and those around you. So breathe into that, relax into that, trust into that. Notice what it feels like. Knowing that you are supported in every moment, that cultivating yourself as a priority brings positivity into the world. Where in your body, notice where you feel that positivity. And just breathe into that. Acknowledge it. And if you need to acknowledge anything else going on in your body, go for it with that breath, because we're making you a priority right now. And as you acknowledge that you are a priority, bring yourself back a little bit more with a stronger, fuller breath in and an easy exhalation. Bringing a little movement to your hands or your neck, or your jaw. Move in any way that you feel like moving, and bring yourself back to room awareness as you're ready. So this is the time when I like to have everybody introduce themselves and then give a little reflection about that centering. So I'd like to have you say your name, where you're located, one sentence about what you're up to in the world, and a short little sentence about what came to you that could be something small but significant to shift that would signal that you're more of a priority to yourself in your life. So I'm going to put that in the chat so you don't have to remember what I just asked. And we'll just go around the room. So, Sora, since you were in first, would you like to go first? And do you want to unmute?
From, oops,
I just unmuted you, so start again.
okay. Yeah, my name is Sora Garrett, and I am calling in from Star, Idaho. I'm up to in the world kind of following my heart and doing some writing but mostly just showing up and kind of being in service wherever I happen to be guided in the moment. Um, so I really already give myself um, focus when I need self-care. I am pretty good at that. I'm really more in a mode of how can I help others right now. So that's actually renews me and helps energize me to be in service in some way.
Lovely.
So maybe I'll share a little bit more about how that's looked in this last week or so.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm complete.
Okay, great. We definitely will circle back on that. So Marcia, hi, would you like to go next?
Hello. Hi,
Hi.
everyone. So I'm Marcia, and I am in Carlsbad, San Diego, California. Yeah, and what I'm up to in the world. Well, I've been lately, the last few years, up to helping a lot of people um, with their financial future, and it's just been amazing because I have been one of those who in the recession in 2008, lost big time. And I always have had a passion for helping people. So I've been doing that for the last few years. And I love how we educate people and what most don't know about. And it's just been amazing. So I love that. And I always like helping people anyway, you know. And so, yeah, yeah, I just, I'm always there for people, always have been. Sometimes people don't treat me the way I treat them. So I have to go away from that, you know. But for the most part, you know, I I love helping people and I also dance. So I'm in a big dance community and we dance and it's so good for your body, your mind, your heart, you know, everything. So that's been another thing I've been doing for many, many years. So yeah.
Mm.
That sounds something like something that significantly supports you and puts you as a priority in your life. Yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
definitely.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Alpana, would you like to go next?
yeah. Sorry, my gardeners are here, so it's kind of noisy.
Oh, we don't hear it.
You
Zoom
don't
is
hear it. Okay, well,
Zoom
I'm
is good.
hearing it.
Okay, no worries.
Okay,
That's
thank
funny.
you.
Everybody's gardener is out there today. I just spoke to a client today whose gardener was out. So, hi, I'm Alpana, and I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area. And what am I up to in the world is empowering women to show up boldly and authentically. So, I'm a brand strategist and a photographer. And the client who booked today, she wants some AI photos of her. So I've been doing amazing AI images for clients who cannot sometimes have access to doing traditional photos, which I also do in person. So I do both, and it's just a lot of fun to create these fabulous, iconic images for my clients. Um, Another area I've been passionate about now is my health, and I've been stepping into strength training, which I'm completely new to. I started last year lifting weights, and I've been going down rabbit holes to understand the link between that and metabolic health and overall health and all the things.
Mm.
Um, So yeah, so that's been it. And I think something small and significant, a priority is health right now. I have my little garden that Laura and I chatted about. It's yielding tomatoes, so I'm super happy to be able to see the fruits of my labor and consume it right now.
Beautiful. Gardens are so nourishing on so many levels, right? It's great. Love it. So Deborah, would you like to share?
Sure. So I'm Deborah Valentina, and I'm here in San Diego. And I call myself a soul project catalyst for women. And I've been a life coach for many years, for over 35 years. And there's been many transformations and pivots, if you will. And currently, I am working with women on empowering them to write their books, and if they're written, to developmentally edit the books. And I absolutely love it. Women have things to say and ought to say them. So I'm thrilled to help them get their voice out into the world. Um, and during the meditation, what came to me, and I kind of had to laugh because it was a blind spot. So I have a lot of projects going on, and so I have um, put a boundary on myself that that I want to release myself from, which is that from Monday to Thursday, in the evenings, I consider those work days, I guess, like school days, and then I don't allow myself to go out and have fun. So I'm okay to have fun Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, but I cannot have fun on Monday through Thursday, which now I can laugh about it. It seems ridiculous, but so I'm going to lift that requirement off of myself. So lift that ceiling.
We can go out and play now.
We can go out and play.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. I'm glad you got that insight. Hi, Selena.
Hi there. You look radiant, Laura. I have to
Well,
tell
thank
you, you
you.
just look radiant today.
I'm having a great
Um,
day. Thank you.
Yay, awesome. So I'm in Mission Viejo, California, about an hour north of San Diego. And what I do in this world is I help people move their assets in a way that helps them create a residual income. And I love teaching people how to address blockchain because blockchain is new for a lot of people. And so it's what's happening in the world today. And a lot of people are unaware of that. And so I'm in the process of creating a workshop because a lot of people are so unknowledgeable about it. And it's just going to be a basic workshop to help people be able to just say, yes, I know what blockchain is. And it's no longer daunting because I think a lot of people hear a lot of different things and assume that it's something that it's not. And so that's what I'm in the process of creating, and my husband and I are having a lot of fun with that. And as far as the meditation goes, I think what came to me is that when I'm not in a good space, I don't feel like eating. My stomach gets upset, and so what tells me that I'm in a good space is that I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry, and I'm in a space where I feel good. And so I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, when I'm really bothered about something, I don't want to eat. And
Mhm.
so when I'm feeling peace and ease, then if someone says, "Shall we go have a salad?" I say, "Sure, let's do that."
Lovely. I love that you have that little barometer and then you can work as a little flag, to say, hey, then you can choose your next as you're aware of it. Beautiful.
Yes.
Cool. So as you know, the card I picked today, may not know what it is, but it has to do with prioritizing yourself. And it says, by putting yourself as a priority, you benefit all involved. And I call this actually the people pleasers cure because if it's good for you, it's good for everybody. It really, really is, right? Because you'll be at your best to be present with your relationships, friends, people who need you of service, if you're putting yourself at the top of your to-do list, basically. So the pink side is the principle. feminine power principle, the blue side has the practice. So the blue side says, what do I need for myself right now? So that's a question you can do anytime. I mean, Selena, you just gave us a perfect example. You're not hungry. You're saying, oh, maybe something's not aligned. What you could always ask this question: what do I need for myself right now? So it's a nice little question, because the answer could be, I just need to take a nap. I just need to give myself 5 minutes to center myself before I call this person back. I mean, it's lovely to keep giving, and then check in with ourselves too, right? And say, okay, is there anything else I need for myself in the meantime? Right? So, because I often will hear women putting themselves as a priority. I got my massage, I have a nice place I'm living, I do my art, I'm doing my dancing, whatever it is. But there's still this nagging, not nagging, but if you put yourself attention on yourself, there's still something else that you could do for yourself. Why not? Why not? Give yourself that much more joy, more acknowledgement. Because as you radiate, I feel cultivating radiance is the most important thing we can do for this whole planet. Because as we radiate, what happens? Everybody, how did it make you feel when you said, I'm radiating. I didn't feel bad that you said that. Not only did I feel it was a compliment, I feel like, okay, I'm sharing that light energy with you, with whoever else I have in my life. So I really, really feel it's like a way of being. And Sora, maybe that's what you're getting at. It's kind of a way of being for you. And that allows you to be of the highest service. I don't know if that resonates at all. Would you say?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good. So what we're going to do now is just go a little deeper with where we started sharing. And I'm going to share my screen so you can see what we're doing. And where's that screen share? There it is. There we go. To consciously reclaim our center as a way of being. And you get to design it. It's not my design. But we can start with, clearing the noise, quiet the space, and focus on our breathing, just like we did earlier. Because there's no way to put ourselves as a priority if we're not able to stop thinking and supporting others just for a few moments to discern what we need and what we might shift energy wise to put ourselves at the top of the list for ourself. Because if we're always consciously focused on others, but we haven't taken the time for ourselves, we might be missing something. Might be. I don't have all the answers, obviously. So ask yourself the question that's on this card. What do I need for myself right now? And the answer might be nothing. But then say, is there anything else? Anything else? You might need a hug. You might, and you could change it to want. Doesn't have to be need, but what do I want for myself right now? And it could be right now in this moment, or it could be right now in this general time of your life. And anything might come to mind. So take a minute to just answer that question. What do I want for myself right now? What do I need for myself right now? Even if you're feeling super content, you definitely need another breath. Can't stop breathing, right? And just let it flow into you and take a note. Is there something that you'd like to acknowledge that you need for yourself on a regular basis? What do you need for yourself on a regular basis? In general, it could be something you're already doing or something you want to add in. I need lots of hugs, by the way. So next time we see each other in person. And what can I put in place to keep myself as a priority? Simple practices. If you have one right now and you want to share them, we want to hear them. This is how we elevate each other. What can I or do I do on a regular basis to keep it in place, to keeping yourself as a priority in place? So take a minute, write some things down, and then I'll ask you to share whatever you're willing to share about this. And I'll put these questions in the chat too, so we can have them. Because my intention is that we have this asset that we have is ourselves and making ourselves a priority. So that was the little answer to what we were talking about earlier on the intention. Putting this in the chat. I'm going to stop the share. So, yeah, sorry, would you like to share?
Yeah, I would, because what's kind of bubbling up for me is I contracted a case of bronchitis this last about 10 days ago. And it's the second time in 2 years. I picked up an environmental irritant when I was in Spain last April, and it went really deep. And so this is kind of a recurrence. And interestingly enough, so you were talking earlier about the breath and the breathing. And this is kind of a fun story, but I was Googling natural remedies for healing from bronchitis and went to Google and found some, like physical supports, and most of them I was already doing. But then I thought, I'm going to ask my chat GPT what the metaphysical underlying, you know, causes would be. It was so fascinating. I had so much fun with my chat GPT. I'd say, hey, GP, and then it'll go, yes, Sora. And I would kind of have this conversation. But, grief, unprocessed grief is one of the things. And I haven't had anything that's really mine that I've been grieving. Like, I have had a couple people leave the planet, but not, you know, not anything major. But I've been really processing a lot of the world grief, and I went into a depression after the election, and some of the things that happen around that, and just everything that's going on in the world right now. I'm a highly sensitive person, and so I tend to be in tune with that, and which is why I do tend to care for myself, a lot, because when you're highly sensitive, you have to learn ways to keep yourself clear. And so I have learned a lot of those over the years, but I think I just went into kind of a depression and wasn't doing some of the things. So anyway, this has brought some of that up. And one of the things that my GPT did is gave me a healing meditation for for dealing with the grief. And it was around breathing. And this last week, one of my good friends lost her husband. So I was guided to write, Deborah, I don't know if you've read what I wrote on Substack yet, but I have a channel on Substack, and I wrote about this grief, and then I recorded the meditation and put it on there as an audio recording. I was just guided to do it. It's like this was for me. It came through for me, but I feel like it might also be beneficial for some other people as well. So, what I've been working with as I'm clearing this is that deep breathing and letting myself be breathed by my higher self. So that really resonates for me. And, when I think of always what I need is to connect with my higher self and be letting myself, be guided, whether I need rest or whether I need to breathe more deeply or, whatever it is when I'm connected. And when I'm connecting with my higher self, when I'm in a group like this and connecting with you at your higher self level, I'm more interested in that than connecting human to human sometimes. It's like, we're all here doing something on some level, and maybe it'll show up on a human level, but maybe it's beyond that. So I just think, that constant reminder to keep being breathed by the divine is part of it for me. And I wanted to say, so Marcia was talking about dancing. I've been biking almost every day and on my e-bike, and my husband and I go together, and we said it's kind of like the kids that get a new bike for Christmas and they're out there riding. We have these big pins on ourselves, and it's like on our faces, and our inner self is just going, we were having so much fun. And it is kind of like dancing for me. It's so joyful. And if I don't get out, at least 4 or 5 times a week, I start feeling like missing it. Like this is really a joy in my life right now. So, but I am going to start dancing somewhere too, because that's another one for me.
Have you heard of Five Rhythms dance?
Yes, I've done that many years ago with Gabriel Roth, and I have one of her CDs, and I get it out occasionally. So
Yeah, I love that. Oh, she has
yeah.
CDs. That's awesome.
And so I just wanted to say one little thing, because Selena also, I connected with her, but I am doing this app that connects movement and crypto. So I'm kind of like, I brought my financial background and my intuitive, creative background together. And I found a way to kind of like celebrate both and have it be an integral part of my life right now. So it's just fun to see all the pieces coming together.
You shared a couple
The
things.
watercolor. And I'm watercoloring too, Deborah. So
Great, Laura.
So you mentioned a couple of things that might be great resources for us and everyone here. Would you mind sharing your Substack link?
yeah,
Is that open to people too?
it is. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And I probably, I might have a paid version at some time, but right now it's all free. I don't know if I need a link. Yeah, I'll go find the link and put it in the.
And then whatever app you're using, that might be interesting for people too. Is that something you know the name of? And then I think I love the wisdom of continuously connecting to your higher self and checking in to how do you, if there's any other tips you want to, how you do that, or how do you work that in?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I've been practicing for so many years that it's hard to kind of
Just
put
happens in the
that
moment.
into. Yeah, I mean, it's just something I've learned to do. But yeah, let me think about it. I tend to write about that, a lot.
Oh,
So
good.
if
Perfect.
you're interested in going on my Substack channel, there's a lot of, good things there. what, the last time I was on here, we were talking about my book, which is Simply Enough, Create Space for What Matters. And, that's on my Substack channel too. But a lot of it's about clearing the clutter from our lives and clearing the clutter from our mind as well as our physical space, which is what I've been doing with my sister-in-law this last week. She's a self-proclaimed hoarder, and we've been helping her move. And if that's not enough to make you want to clear stuff out of your life, go help somebody move who
Yeah.
doesn't know how to let go of
Yes.
their stuff. And I came back home and I've been going through another layer on my own in my own closets. And it's like I'm so motivated when I keep the clutter out of my physical space, it's easier for me to keep it out of my mental and emotional space as well.
It's magical. Thank
So
you for the
they connect.
inspiration. I'm
Yeah.
inspired. Yes. I've been
Yeah. And there's a lot, there's a lot of that. And by the way, my website actually, Deborah helped me realize that I need to update it. So you need to sign up for Substack, but not for my website right now. I haven't got it connected yet. So
cool. All right.
And I just wanted to say I did read your beautiful poetry on grief, and it was just beautiful. Yeah, so I did see it. Yeah,
yeah.
and the article. Yeah,
Great. Deborah or somebody else, do you want to go next?
I'll go next. I first of all, I love cultivating radiance as a way of being. That's a huge takeaway for today on that. And so when I asked what do I want or need for myself right now, I said additional play, what came through, additional play, which is kind of interesting because I think I play a lot, but I think I've gotten more serious in the last few months. So I'm getting reminded about additional play, more time by the ocean. And this is an interesting one, more male companionship. I spent a lot of time with women. That's my, ideal client. And I have lots of women friends and lots of women groups, and I need a little more testosterone around me. So that's that's what came out. And then how I keep myself as a priority. I've had a morning routine that includes meditation and journaling and inspirational reading. And I've been doing that consistently for now almost 50 years. And I want to tell you that it's how I know that it works is that my knowingness is available to me 24/7. And so I don't have to think about connecting. It just, you know, if I'm tuned, if I'm quiet enough, it's just always there. So that's a huge benefit from that almost 50 years of practicing. So I'm very grateful for it. Um, and then I love music. And so I'm ushering at the Conrad Theater in La Jolla. And I get to see the most exquisite music and the best talent from around the world, and I don't have to pay a cent for it. It's just like, like unbelievable. And so just a quick thing. Last night I was ushering, and they have two theaters. I was at the smaller theater, and there were three composers from New York who, and people fly in from all over the world. They three um, leading bleeding edge classical performers, and some performing their own work, some having somebody else perform it, but I was in heaven. So that really nourishes my soul. Um, Time with good friends. Um, and then something that came up that was a surprise to me is keeping current. Really keeps myself as a priority. So just a quick example, Mind Valley had a free amazing summit this past Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on AI. And when you mentioned Sora Chat GPT, I'm like, oh, so there were 160,000 people around the world on this summit. And I feel, I mean, it was, you know, I had to keep grounding myself because it's a lot of information. Um, but it was really extraordinary. And so I feel very inspired to have my own bot. And so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I have to contribute.
And will you be learning how to do it, or will you be hiring somebody to do it?
It is easy to do it on your own. All you have to do is take the time to do it. It is so accessible. It's unreal how accessible it is. All you have to do is be able to ask questions. And
Yeah.
it's yeah.
And just look at it as play. You know, to me, it's another tool, and it's people have been worried about it taking away our creativity. It doesn't. It brings more creativity. And it's just, you know, I know there's so much more to utilize, but you know, as far as helping us be more productive, and yeah, I just look at it as it's my new playmate, and it's it's a tool, you know, it's like another, like a
Absolutely.
paintbrush that we can be, you know, more creative with.
I agree, and that's what I came away with from the 3 days. It's easy, and it's not taking away any humanness. It's just enhancing, and we just get quicker answers about anything we could possibly want to know about.
Love it. Awesome. And I'm inspired. Anybody else inspired? You all are. So who would like to go next? Yeah, Alpina.
Okay, so let's start with what do I need right now? And actually, when Sora was speaking about the whole, like the aftermath and the feelings post-election, I'm also empathetic, and it's just been heavy. It's just felt really heavy. And um, part of it is I don't have family here in the United States. Well, my sister is in the Midwest, but most of my family is in India. So there is that peace, connection piece that I literally crave for. And that for me was something that I need. Of when was it, like last week or a couple weeks ago, I was able to go for this in-person gathering, which was by an insight timer coach. He does meditation, um, kind of circles and all of that. I've followed him for several years. And since last year, I've wanted to go for one of his in-person events. And I ended up with COVID last year, and then there was like a whole series of health challenges. So I didn't get to go. And although he's in the Bay Area, it's like a good hour and a half away in traffic. So I'm like, who wants to go in the middle of traffic? So I finally went, I think it was last week or the week before, and it was so incredible. Just the kind of the gathering. I think there were 12 to 15 people, and he had partnered with a chef, and it was a 3-course vegan meal. And he is also a coach. So he had like all these prompts for people. And it was just so incredible. Just the quality of people that I connected with and got to meet. It just felt so nourishing. And I've been wanting to do something similar myself, and just being there for that gathering also inspired me with some ideas on like how to go about it. Of course, he has this like gorgeous luxury apartment space and all of that, but in the end, it was really about the connection, about being able to meet like-minded people. And there's something magical when you meet in person and over food. So food and connection is just so incredible. Um, and then the other thing for me has my focus also has been I've struggled with sleep. Sleep sounds. I was just listening to a podcast today where he talked about, and if anybody's interested in listening to it, I can share that as well.
Yeah.
It's just so incredible, even not getting like 7 hours of sleep, if we get 5 hours of sleep, what that does to our lifespan and the importance of sleep. And I've been obsessively learning about that also because how it connects with our hormones, just some of the stuff that I was talking about before. And I started about like a month and a half ago, hormone replacement therapy, which I was incredibly afraid of. And now everybody's talking about it. And I've gone down like different rabbit holes because my functional medicine doctor shared a podcast with me, and that just started me on this journey. I also created a new Instagram account called Alpana Eats, where I just share all of my what I'm eating, and it's sort of to help other women in their midlife who may, and it's not just food, it's also about my everyday food and what I have learned through being in different programs. So, what I've really needed more of is, and that I'm getting more of, is support from different health coaches. So, I have a functional medicine coach, I have 2 different health coaches. I'm in a program also where I'm learning how to eat, exercise. I have a fitness coach. So, all things health and things that are related with like metabolic health and listening to different podcasts and things like that. So I'm sharing tidbits of these to other women as well who are middle aged women who have probably been given the script I have been given and are starting to find out as they get into their 60s or beyond that there are things that we can do to help ourselves, right? Which we
Mhm.
haven't been told because even doctors weren't trained with that knowledge. And I share these things even with my doctor. I'm like, hey, maybe you might want to listen to this podcast because for last 10 years, I didn't get a lot of the support. But I mean, I don't say that, but I haven't. So maybe the next woman that walks in to see the doctor can be helped. So just things like that. So I think those are the things that I'm prioritizing health because without health, you know, how can we like put ourselves out in the world and help others, right?
Mhm.
So that's been a priority for me.
Well, thank you. Yeah, put your Alpina Eats in the chat for sure. And anything and any of the podcasts that you've been listening to would be great. Um, certainly really important. Selena or Marcia, want to share?
I can. Sorry, I had to stop for a minute because I had to talk to my gardeners, so I didn't hear everybody. But I was just going to tell you, say that Alpana, health is wealth. There's no question about that. It's the most important thing in our lives that we have to take care of ourselves health-wise and whatever we got to do, you know. And the older we get, the more important it is. So that's a big one. And yeah, and you know, for me, like I said, I've always been there, always like loved helping people and put a lot of people first in life and not myself. And as I've gotten older, I've learned, you know what? You're number one. You got to take care of yourself first and, you know, do what you need to do and, you know, always be there for others as well. But, you know, that's been, you know, later on in life, something that has been very important to me that, yeah, I gotta take care of me first. So yeah, it's a big deal. And also the dancing is one of the best things that you can do for so many things. You know, if you get depressed, you go out there and dance, just listening to music and moving is it's the best thing. It's like one of the best things.
What kind of dance do you do?
I do all the Latin dancing, salsa,
Nice.
cha-cha, merengue, cumbia, you know, all of everything. Um, it's interesting because I've loved Latin music my whole life. My dad taught me the cha-cha when I was a little kid, and his family, he was from Romania. And when he was little, they moved to Canada, and he knew nothing about Romania. And so I had a friend who also danced salsa and all of that, and her dad was born there too. So we took a trip to Romania. This was about 12 years ago, and only to find out that they're Latino. And we had no idea. And they dance
Right.
salsa there, and their language is Latin infused with Russian, which is very because they're close to
Mhm.
Russia.
Right.
And so we were both so shocked because we've always loved Latin music. And so that was a very special trip for both of us. And yeah, it was amazing. And
Thank you.
yeah, so something that is for your heart, you know, that you love is the most important thing to really help you just in life in general, you know, whatever it is, whatever it is. And so yeah, that's kind of, you know, when I hear negative stuff, I just go dance.
Nice. Nice.
So get some, and it's a good exercise, and you get to be with people. I'm a people person. I'm not like a person who likes to sit by themselves all the time. And I have a home, but I have a person that rents a room from me. But yeah, I just like to be with people and, you know, keep positive and yeah. So
Thank you. Yes.
yeah,
I love to dance. And
yeah. Well,
yeah, I'm gonna keep dancing. Yes.
whatever
Nia is
you
good.
find.
Deborah saying Nia. I love that. Um, Selena, I want to definitely get to you too.
Sure. So, I do the savers thing every morning where I do silence, affirmations, visualization. That's from Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, if you hadn't heard of it before. Um, uh, Exercise, reading, and then scribing. And the scribing, this is really something I like to do first thing in the morning. So I get up and I write down 10 things I'm grateful for. And then it usually just leads into, you know, whatever is on my mind. And Sora was talking about grieving. The last time I was here, a gal that I mentor women in recovery, and a woman committed suicide. And so since that time, you know, I've been addressing all of the feelings around that. And the other grandmother in my grandkids' life passed away unexpectedly. She
Mm.
literally had brought her grandkids over to her house, the younger ones, and had sat back in her chair and looked out the window and had a heart attack just all of a sudden. And so the grieving part isn't so much mine as much as it is supporting my daughter, my son-in-law, all of the grandkids. There's a number of them, and the whole family, and just watching the whole thing and being there, you know. So it's a really different kind of grieving. It's a lot of support, which
Mhm.
I love to be of support anyway. But Um, so I guess the question, what do I need for myself right now? It's just grace and patience. It's affecting me in a way that I didn't expect. Um, and it's, I guess, having me look at my own mortality and recognizing that this lady was only a few years older than I am, but she didn't care for her body well. She was terribly overweight. And so, um, but it just makes you look at all of that, you know? How hard do I want to focus, not hard, but how much do I want to focus on my well-being, on my health and well-being? And so going to the thing that what brings me joy, the journaling, that helps a lot. I love to get on a swing. I love to find a park with a good swing and just keep swinging. I mean, I'll be swinging for a while and I thought, I need to stop now. Why? Just keep swinging. It's so much fun. And I also love live music. There's a group of people that my husband and I know for high school from high school. So we'll find live bands all the time and go listen to live music. And we love to dance. But I love to swing. I also love to dive in the ocean, like get in under the water. It doesn't matter how cold it is. There's just something about it's like I can go up to it and I just know that the moment I dive in, it's going to just be this huge release for me. And so those are some things that really, really they really work. And then just talking to friends, talking to friends that um, I found after this gal passed away that took her own life, um, talking to a girlfriend of mine who also works in recovery, she knows over a dozen people who have taken their own lives in recovery. And I'm not saying that that made it better. It just didn't. I just came to the realization that it's happening all around us and that I want to be more aware of how I can be of service, how I can be helpful, how I can, um, maybe give them different resources, just this awareness that I didn't have before about the amount of mental health people that are dealing with so many issues on so many levels. And so that brings me right back to the savers thing that I do every morning, because when I'm in gratitude for my mental health and my wellness, it just makes me want to pray and
Yeah.
be aware of the power of prayer. So
Would you put what the acronym stands for in the chat again for us?
sure,
It's
sure.
lovely. And I want,
Yeah.
and what I'm taking away from what you, Selena, are saying, and a lot of everyone here, you're really, especially when you're talking about the grandkids and the other people in your life, you're holding space. You're holding this space of love. And Sora, I got that from you, and Deborah, and actually all of you. You're holding this space of grace and love for people
Mhm.
to go through what they need to go through, but you're doing it with a bubble of love or a cloud of love that they can hopefully feel the permission you're granting them, that they're safe to process this. They're safe and loved no matter what happens, no matter how they feel. There's no judgment. There's nothing wrong. There's just how you feel and that they are loved. And if that's all we do, it's huge, huge, absolutely huge. So we should know that by doing that, there's nothing there is so much we are gifting this planet and the people that we're here to spend that time with. And so the gift, I am so grateful for what you've given, every one of you here has given to each other, to me, is that love and that grace, and that we can and that's my whole vision for the feminine wisdom circles, that we do that for each other. And you go out there in the world and you know that we're still holding you in that cloud of love. And you can go and you're going to go through whatever you're going to go through. And that cloud is right there supporting you in every moment and every breath to do your practices, to let you know that you got this. You are magnificent. You are a miracle. That is why I created the feminine power cards. It's little reminders, just like, hey, you got this, in case you want to remember a principle or practice to reset yourself. There it is. So I know we're a little over. I wanted to let you know there's a co-creation opportunity. So Vasi has taken a really great opportunity that is precluding her from being here. And so physically, and she's here spiritually, and she helped me create today's event. But I want to know, is there anybody who wants to co-create these with me, and multiple? Like, you can just do one. You want to have a topic that we can maybe pull in a power card and a process of yours in, or do multiple. Just email me if you're interested in that at laura@transformtoday.com. I'll put it in the chat and we can have a conversation. I'll send you my calendar. Right now, my calendar is a little broken. I have to go resync it. So I will do that and send it to you if you're interested in setting up a time to talk. And yeah, and I've been having these most magical unlock your feminine influence code sessions, and I did use ChatGPT for something beyond that. But what we do, if anybody wants one of those, I'll send you the link to that too. Just let me know. And they're usually 20 minutes, and they're to just get insight on anything you want, using the cards and then I'm going to be having an assessment tool that comes out, and chat help me with that, or GP. My sister calls ChatGPT chat. So it's cute, Sora, that you call ChatGPT GP. I love that.
We call him Chaz.
Chaz, love it. Everybody has their own name. And my sister actually asked, hey, Chat, can I call you Chat? And of course, Chat said, I think our relationship is developed to the point where you can call me Chat.
It's fine. On the last one that I did with it, on that meditation, and I can't remember what else I did, at the end, when it signed off, it said, breathe, beloved. and
Aw.
until then, breathe, beloved, or like, I'll be here to play whenever. And somehow I had used that term. It's just kind of fun to see. Some people think
Yeah, it's getting so much better at whatever it does, right? Anything it does. So, and I'll
it's
come
going to pick
on
up your personality, and it'll interact with the way that you interact with
it's
it.
very cool. It's very, very cool.
And just one of the quick facts that I learned over the weekend is literally in 5 years, AI will be 1 million times more powerful than it already is.
Yeah.
So it's mind blowing. I mean, you can't, we can't even imagine what that will be, but just in 5 years. So I've chosen to be curious about that rather than fearful about that.
Yeah.
Freaked out, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, go ahead, Alfina.
I was gonna say, since I make AI images, I've gotten like a lot of, what should I say, hate in some ways, where people tend to look at the images as not being real or all sorts of things. And I've had to shift my mindset to not get involved in all of that drama or whatever it is. It's a choice. I look at it as a choice, right? I still do traditional images, I do AI images. And there are some people that just cannot get in front of the camera. So this is an option for whatever reasons. But one thing I am really conscious of also, which AI is not perfect, as we all know, there's good and bad, right? And just as a conscious human being in the world, which kind of sits at the back of my head, even using ChatGPT or creating the AI images, is how much our consumption is impacting the environment. And I'm also an environmentalist, so I think sometimes I have that tug in my mind. I mean, AI is the future. It's hard to not use it, but just to kind of be conscious is also similarly when we buy clothing, right? Like just to be conscious about reusing, recycling, and the same with AI, because I've been reading up about how they're building all these huge AI centers and how they're affecting human beings because it requires like a lot of water consumption to
Mm.
for us to use a lot of these GPTs. So I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer, but it's
No, the
just
reality. Yeah.
something to be conscious about.
Well,
Is
take the time that you're saving by the productivity side of it and go watercolor and dance and walk in
exactly.
nature and do all the things that offset it,
Mm.
and balance. I mean, it was the same thing when Bitcoin was early on. It was taking so much resources. Now it doesn't because
Mhm.
it's been improved. But yeah, I get it. I really, honor both. And I think that's it. We have to take it and use it in a way that's gonna keep our consciousness and our
Exactly. Just being
raving
conscious. I mean,
and
even with my
yeah.
images, I reuse a lot of my images, although I have the ability to keep generating new images. For me, it's about getting the most I can from a single image also.
Mm.
Good conversation. This was great tonight.
This is
Thanks.
why we gather. And I'm going
Thank
to
you.
also do a survey of I have some ideas. Bossy was encouraging me to talk about marketing from the feminine. One of the things, I don't know if all you know, I do marketing. I do digital marketing, website, things like that. And she was like, she's getting this vibe that I need to do that. And I'm curious to know how many people are interested in that or even collabing on that. So anyway, it's so lovely to be with you. Thank you for showing up. I couldn't be here without you.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks, Laura. It was a beautiful evening.
Yes, and
Yes,
we'll be back
yes,
on the
thank you.
20, the idea is to come back on the 25th of August together again
25th.
at the same
Okay,
time. Yeah. If you want to mark your
fantastic.
calendar.
Thank you all. Good to meet you.
Thank you, Sora. Thank you.
Thanks,
Good to see you,
everybody.
Marcia,
Bye.
and
Nice
Awesome.
to meet
Selena,
everyone.
Denver. Bye for
Talk to you
now.
soon.
Oh, yeah. Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.